What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to show you guys and gals some finishing touches that I like to make on some designs. So I'm going to be using my Kafka #1. I got bright red. That's what the design was made with, one-shot bright red. It's on a piece of glass with a cheap frame I got from Walmart, and it's kind of one of my practice pieces, but I kind of like the way it looked, so I had a grid drawn on the reverse side with like a dry erase marker. I have since then wiped that off, so you can't see the grid anymore. The good thing about practicing on this glass with the frame is that if you like it, you can keep it and you can already hang it on a wall or give it to somebody or sell it or whatever it is you choose to do with it. Or if you don't like it, a year from then, you could scrape it off and start over, which is what I did because this was something else before. So again, I'm going to show you guys some finishing touches that I like to do. This paint is dry, but you don't have to wait for it to dry. I was just kind of in a hurry when I did it, so I didn't quite get a chance to do all the little extra things that I like to do. So for one, I started off with the red, and then I filled in these kind of the gaps that I saw. Not all of the gaps, just the ones that I thought would look good with white. So there are, I think, 1 or 2 spots where the white went a little too far and made the red line look kind of thinner because it went too far out. So with the red now, I can go back and fix it. Like this one, I started going into the red line there. It looks a little bit out of proportion, so I'll just go over the red line again, and that fixes that. Now, I mean, I know that's a real subtle thing, but if it's something that you're really working on and you're able to take your time, it doesn't hurt to try to make it as perfect as you can. I think those are always kind of the goals that we go after. So let's see. I think right here, this kind of went out a little bit, so I'm going to try to go in here without getting on that white teardrop. So let's fix that. Hopefully you can see what I'm talking about and it doesn't look like nothing. Here I see that the white was kind of going off and it doesn't really go to a point. Well, you can fix that and kind of make it a point by going over the red again. Again, it's the same exact color. So see, that makes it a little bit more fine, a little bit nicer. I think I'm going to do the same thing over here. Let's try to get it to match. All right. Now I did notice that I just went over that white swoop, so now it kind of looks like it's coming through it, which is fine by me. Happy accident, whatever. Alright, so one of the finishing things that I like to do is kind of add some horizontal lines. Now they don't have to be horizontal, you can make them sideways. But to open gaps like this, put some lines that go across. Maybe 1, maybe 2, depending on how you feel. And these are just extra details that could set you apart. You know, people kind of, when they stare at the designs, they look into them and try to find extra detail. So with this line, I'm going to try to go parallel with that swoop. So it kind of looks like it breaks up this white a little bit. Now you do want it to be kind of the same thickness as your lines. If not, it will look funny. This kind of technique I noticed from watching and looking at Hot Rod Jen's designs. So big shout out to Hot Rod Jen. I've never actually met her, but her stuff is amazing. Definitely taking pinstriping to the next level. I was hoping to, at some point, make a video on some pinstripers that I would recommend y'all checking out. And being that I'm out here by myself without a mentor per se, you know, it's just spending a lot of time looking at other people's designs. So those are, I did those two. I think I'm going to do these two down here. Now I will say that this one's a little bit higher than this one, so it might accentuate that. That's not what I want, but it's, you know, hand painted, so it's not going to be perfect, even though we try to get it that way. Trying to determine what's wet paint and what's not at this point. Alright, I got a few more. So basically I'm doing where the corner of the white is thicker and open, I'm doing another little extra finishing line there. I don't think I'm going to do it on this one because where that line swoops down it already cuts it off, so it kind of already given me that effect on its own through the design. So I'm going to do it right here. Again, following this line, trying to be parallel with that. At the moment, it looks a little funny because it's wet paint, so it kind of looks bubbly. But when it dries, it'll lay down some. All right. I don't know if you can tell, but it's already kind of breaking up the design to look a little bit cooler, in my opinion. So again here, I'm going to go to the kind of the fat end of the triangle there and just cut it off, following the direction of this other line. It just makes them little points look a little bit more complete. And again, that's, you know, everything I say to you guys is opinionated. I hate to get to where I'm saying it's the end all be all, because it isn't. Some people like these things, some people don't. I think it looks cool. Now right here, I got the white going through right where I would want to do it, so I'm not going to do it on these. Let's see, I got a nice little gap here I can do, and that would break that up some. So now probably would have helped if I had left the grid to make sure I'm going horizontal for real, not going sideways on them, but at this point you kind of have a whole design to back you up as far as where you're at. Now I've gone a little too far, so I'm gonna swipe a line down to cover up where I went too far. It doesn't look too bad. Alright, and now I have this extra little doodad. I might do one there on top to tie it in. Maybe two of them, we'll see here. again, I went a little too far there on the outside, so I'm going to fix that by adding a downward swoop, just covering that sucker up. Now, I have these little gaps here, right there, and that's pretty much just those two. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this popsicle stick. I don't know where you guys can see it because I'm far away from the camera, but I'm going to take the popsicle stick and I'm going to squeegee out the paint to give me a nice little puddle. I already have a puddle there, but might as well use what's in here because this is already the right consistency. Now I'm going to use the back of the brush, the pointy part of the handle, and I'm going to dip in the paint, kind of moving it around to make sure that whole thing is full of paint. And with that, I'm going to make a dot right in the middle of that gap. All right, so that will connect it with a dot.